great. Like, they're really great. The 35mm fisheye is... I love that thing. It's so beautiful. The 75 is really pretty. I mean, all of them are pretty, but like the 35, the fisheye, and the 75 are just like outstandingly pretty. I think I really love them. And the bokeh is also like really beautiful on everyone. Like the there's some cat's eye happening, there's some swirl happening, there's a little bit of onion thing going on in the bokeh, which looks absolutely stunning. It's like I can't even imagine. I can't imagine, but like because I've seen it. But like, the medium format look with these lenses, it is holy crap! Because it's like it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's there. The bokeh just looks beautiful. It looks like this like pop, you know, the 3D pop. The highlight roll off is really cool. It's really beautiful. You've seen those with the highlight, the stuff in there. I really generally like what I saw. The flaring was a bit of a mixed bag though. Although the flares are pretty, the ghosting is pretty insane, and the flaring is also pretty insane. A little bit of it is, I think, pretty cool, but in general, I think it was a bit too much of ghosting for my taste. But in general, you get into like rainbow stuff too. It's beautiful. I don't have a problem with the rainbow stuff. So personally, I just love the flare. Yeah, but there's a little bit too much ghosting. I wrote that down. Sharpness. I didn't do a sharpness test because on this particular day I was pretty done, which is another story for a couple of minutes later. But yeah, so I didn't do a sharpness test, but they seemed like good enough sharp, like especially like in this day and age, the modern sensors are so sharp. If the lens is a little bit soft, it just, I think, helps with the look, but they seem sharp. And like the sharpness thing is also a little bit different because I used it with a speed booster. There was no test without the speed booster because of something that I'm going to explain a little later. So sharpness can take a bit of a damage when it's hit with the speed booster. So I guess, yeah, something to think about. Which also leads me to another point, which is the chromatic aberration. Especially on the 55mm, there was a lot of chromatic aberration happening. Now, my personal thought on chromatic aberration is I generally love chromatic aberration, especially, which I love giving this example, if you've seen my nanomorph video, that chromatic aberration is incredibly beautiful. The front of the focal plane is this beautiful, like orangey, kind of giving the halation look to it, which I really love. The back of the focal plane, which is not that nanomorph, but kind of like a teal thing, which Helios has. I just love that. I just love that. I am a chromatic aberration fan, which these lenses did not fulfill that need particularly because I think the chromatic aberration was a little too much, and that purple green fringing is not like my favorite thing. There's also the distortion kind of thing, which is fisheye has fisheye distortion, of course, but on the other hand, the other ones have the wider ones especially have kind of a bit of a barrel distortion, especially on the top and the bottom, and the, like it just like normally where you would have barrel distortion. Nothing that bothers me, but I thought it was kind of cool. I really liked it. But that also leads me to saying, since I couldn't film a lot, I didn't film a lot of like tests, I would highly recommend that you check out this video, which I might be showing here or in the description below, which is from Boxfish, which is where I also borrowed the lenses and where I did the tests and stuff. They shot a commercial this year in Africa with these lenses. Pretty cool. These lenses and the red Monstro. Pretty cool look, pretty cool thing. So check them out and check that out so you can get a like better understanding of this than just this like a basic test, I guess. All right. Thoughts on the speed booster. All right. This is the Pentax, the Kipon Sony E to Pentax 6x7 0.7x speed booster. So this is why I also did this video, because Kipon said they'd send me a couple of adapters so that I can try the Pentax 6x7 lenses out, which I will explain the story in a bit. But before that, I want to talk about the speed booster. It's just that the speed booster is great, like nothing I can say. Native E-mount, good quality glass, and good quality in general everything. Normally in stuff like this, the quality of speed booster is also directly connected to how much chromatic aberration does it add, how much contrast loss or how much sharpness loss does it add. I couldn't test these because of some technical complications, but in general, from what I saw, I think this is a good one. It's a good quality. I don't know if I get to keep this, if that matters to you. Yeah, I don't know, I liked it. I tested it with another speed booster too, which, as to my knowledge, there's just 2 speed boosters for Pentax 6x7 stuff. I might be wrong with that, but I tested it with one and then this one, and I like the Kipon one a little better because this had a little bit more of a contrast and a little more field of view, which I kind of liked it. You know, I guess this one gets a thumbs up from me. Yeah. So in the beginning, this test was going to be a little different because Kipon sent out 4 things. They sent out the E2 Pentax 6x7 speed booster. They sent out an E2 LPL and red to LPL and LPL to Pentax 6x7 0.62x speed booster. The test was going to be, I try the red Monstro with and without the speed booster, FX30 with and without the speed booster. But unfortunately, that 0.62x speed booster does not fit into the red Monstro adapter, red adapter from Kipon. I mean, it fits in way too well that it just sticks out and it hits the OLPF on the camera, which is not a good thing. So I reached out to them and I said, hey dudes, like this doesn't really fit. And they were like, yeah, it was made for GFX and RS65 cameras. So yeah, which was like fine, I guess. And I couldn't test it with the FX32 because the LPL to E adapter from them doesn't really fit with the LPL to Pentax 6x7 adapter. It just, the E mount part is way too narrow. It just doesn't fit in there, which is fine. So in general, this video was a very, very schwere Geburt in German. It was a very hard birth. It's also the reason why I just put the test in front without me talking a lot, because I don't know if it's really worth it. I mean, it's worth it in the sense that lenses are beautiful and I get to test them, and you know, it's now out on the internet and maybe someone will see them and be like, ah, actually not a bad look, which is not a bad look really. And the Speedbooster works great too. It just has to be the right Speedbooster, and like the quality of Kipon is also like, I guess it's known they're good, but I guess yeah, it was kind of a fail, kind of an out of fail, but yeah, been a very hard video to make, which is fine.